Alexis Nunes alongside Julien Laurent. We are asking the question that everyone has been asking recently. Jules, is this going to be Liverpool's year? 5 points ahead of Manchester City right now, and City looking a bit more vulnerable than they have looked in the past, not as invincible as they would like to be, especially with Norwich showing exactly what they could do against them just this past weekend, and Liverpool just flying high and playing with that arrogance, that kind of, yes, we know we're European champions. So my question is this their year?
I mean, first of all, if they could have dreamt of a start of a season, it would have been this one. Apart from maybe the Alisson injury, but they haven't really suffered from it.
Exactly.
To be fair. So this would have been the perfect start of a season with them flying. Even the little fight between Mane and Salah not really having any consequences.
But people said that was a good thing.
Yeah,
It just
in a
shows
way,
the hunger
maybe.
from both of them.
You're right. And then having that front three in that kind of form, and we saw that against Newcastle with Firmino stealing the show and Salah scoring and Mane scoring again, and all of that, and that feeling of, okay, maybe they consider more goals than before, but they have that confidence, that momentum. And on the other hand, City more vulnerable, like you said, dropping points, losing points, and have that 5-point gap already. With September, it's match day 5. Last season, City lost their first game at Chelsea in December in match day 16. And now in September, and they lose away at Norwich against a promoted side that usually they never lose against. You know, they hadn't lost in 4 years against a team coming up from the Championship. So it looks like definitely the stars the planet are aligning for Liverpool, but there's still a long way to go. A lot of things can happen, and we saw last year when Liverpool were 7 points clear in January, and people were saying like, oh, it's a lot in January, and they were going to City. They could have taken that lead to 10 points had they won. And in the end, they lost by 1 point. So this is the Premier League. This is English football. There's a lot of things that can happen, but it's still the perfect start for Liverpool, the one that they could have dreamed of.
Looking at City now, where do you think Liverpool can take the most advantage now? Because we heard some of the boys on the show, ESPN FC, talking about how, you know, Stevie Nicol pointed out, of course Stevie would, that it's really Man City's defence that is just absolutely in shambles now, or a shambles by the City standard. And some others say that, look, the fact that City, they believe, Xhaka as well, believe that City's focus is just purely on winning the Champions League. This is something that they want. They've been there, done that in the Premier League, you know, especially in recent times. So do you think Liverpool will capitalise on that? Do you put that, or do you think that City's problems are real and they are at the back?
I mean, the centre-back issue will be like this until January, when they can buy someone, if they want to, sign someone else.
Who'd have thought City needed to buy more, right?
Yeah, but who would have thought they would not buy someone in the summer? Because Company was leaving, because then you were left with Otamendi, Stones, who are two liabilities at best, and then Laporte. And if something had happened to Laporte, you'd be in big trouble. And guess what? Something happened to Laporte, and now they're in big trouble defensively. And it's not Fernandinho who can sort it out by just deputizing there. It's not young Eric Garcia, who's only 18, who could help either. So I think defensively they're in big trouble, and then like non-activity in that area, in that position in the summer is coming back to haunt them.
Well, City's, of course, one of their biggest strengths just last season was the fact that, you know, their squad goes so deep and it's absolute quality. I mean, we just even saw at the weekend, even though it didn't help them that much, but they brought the likes of Riyad Mahrez off the bench and Kevin De Bruyne and Gabriel Jesus, who anywhere else they'd make the starting 11. Do you think Liverpool, you know, has that deep enough squad to go the full length and win the Premier League? Because it still is, even though match day 5, you said it still is, we're only in September.
Yeah, you're right. And Liverpool were very lucky last season not to have big injuries to major players. You know, Alisson and Van Dijk, and the front three, I think, played 95% of their matches, which is incredible on such a long season, considering it went up to June the 1st in the Champions League final. So the key for them is keeping all those players fit, and we know that, or at least as fit as possible. But the depth of the squads could be a key at some point, because City are going to come back and they're going to win matches and they're going to get closer, and there will be two momentous games between Liverpool and Manchester City, where if City win them both, that's 6 points and the 5-point gap has gone. So there's still a long way to go, but you could see the strength of Liverpool, you could see the strength of City, but you can see the weaknesses of City, and you can't really see right now the weaknesses of Liverpool. So that's for me, that's why right now they have to be favourite to win the league.
All right, thanks so much to Julien Laurent. Well, it looks like times could be changing. We know it's still early doors, but Liverpool just seem to be a completely different outfit now, and this could definitely be their year.